guys, I'm gonna just do a short live. I know I just go live this morning already, but I just want to discuss a little bit of, um, not discuss. I want to tell you a story about today earlier. I had the privilege to talk to somebody that I respect in the stock market that, does a lot of investing herself and, well versed on that, right? And of course, one of the things that was talked about is about GameStop. I was trying to present the bullish case on that you should at least look at GameStop, right? And of course, we were talking about the economy and all that stuff, and what is going on, the housing market and all that stuff, right? And of course, this person is well versed in the market. She's been in the market for decades already, but she's very conservative, right? So she's always trade in and out of Apple. That's what she's comfortable doing. And she make tons of money doing that. Just Apple and some other company as well, but mostly Apple. And I was telling her, would you buy Apple at this price? Now, she did trim off some of the position in Apple, but she hadn't been buying into Apple recently because, again, she knew that the growth is not there. Right, which is fine, right? And so I was talking, I was trying to talk up GameStop, right? Well, and one of the things that I was talking about is the fact that GameStop doesn't have any debt. And she was surprised, if you could find any company with debt, would be great for you, right? But then she, again, she's not also on GameStop or anything like that, because again, her argument was that number one, that GameStop is its best day, it's behind it, and I disagree wholeheartedly. But this is what she it's the same narrative. Of course, she's not well versed on GameStop. She have kids that shop at GameStop years ago, when they were younger. So, but the popularity, she thinks that GameStop, its best day is behind it. And so I was like, well, right now, I was presenting to her that Ryan Cohen, is the secret sauce here, right? But before I get to that, though, the fact that whatever the media was saying about GameStop, it feels like she was listening to those things, right? Because, they're selling physical games and all that stuff. How can you compete with Apple, distributor of PlayStation and all that stuff, right? And I was like, well, where do you buy PlayStation from? And she kind of stopped a little bit. It's like, Apple. Well, people buying PlayStation from GameStop. GameStop sells PlayStation, right? And GameStop is actually partner up with Apple PlayStation. Sorry, one second. Is PlayStation from Apple, or am I not? Sorry, one second. This is a controller. Backtracking. Sony. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but anyway, so she thought about, maybe she mistaken, and I probably didn't catch that myself, but she did say Apple and all that stuff, and the console, PlayStation and all that stuff. And it was like, well, where do you buy those console, right? You buy it from GameStop, and GameStop is going to be, this is the aim for the leadership. We're aiming to beat Amazon sale in the gaming industry, right? And of course, she's not all sold to the idea that GameStop is going to be it. Perhaps it's because, again, the narrative is just so deep in the media that she would believe in those type of things. But I was making my case, obviously. I was like, hey, they're actually doing better, right? If you look at the balance sheets and all that stuff, and I present to her the interview that I saw. Oops, sorry, 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Give me a minute. So, but anyway, I was showing her Ryan Cohen interview, right? And of course, we were talking about a whole bunch of people, and it was a good conversation to have. And she didn't know who Ryan Cohen was, which is a surprise to me, right? But her bare case is the fact that they're selling physical game, and I hope I convince her that they're not doing that anymore, that we're actually expanding our catalog, right? And for those of you who still believe in that narrative too, I urge you to go to this website right here, Gamestop.com, and look through all of the items that's being sold right now. Okay, they have expanded their like the PC gaming, however, look, $5,000-$6,000 high ticket items here that people could spend on GameStop to build the best system for your gaming console or a computer game. And so I was telling her that I was like, yeah, I mean, if they're, but I still think that they're not going to make a lot of money. I'm like, well, right now they can, because everybody is struggling. So, but even at the face of people struggling, their revenue has been flat. But at the same time, they were cutting down stores to the point where now we earned more money per store than they used to. That's a good idea. That's a good thing. And of course, I was showing her
within a category
this
like
one right here,
where customers are so fanatical. All of those small things just create this loyalty.
1 second.
And once customers shop at Chewy, they continue shopping at Chewy, and they tell all their.
So I was showing her this particular interview right here, and she said, well, the same narrative, right? I bet she probably have either the same mindset or watch the news about it, right? And one of it is that, well, this was Chewy. He was successful, and it's a different category. And I'm like, well, but yes, I understand that. It's the pet food category. Now it's in gaming category. But don't you think it's the same principle, though, to make money? To make a profitable profitable business? So, well, so I hope I was able to convince her, honestly, because this is the best opportunity. And, but anyway, I digress, though. It was a fun conversation to have, though. So, okay, let me play this one real quick just to give you an idea.
They went out of business, and you look at what Amazon's doing. Why are you doing well in the market? What's happening here?
Yeah, well, I think the world has changed a lot from the days of Pets.com till today. And so, the market back then was underpenetrated. People weren't shopping online. Today, e-commerce is a way of life. People were scared just to put their credit card information online. Then also you have the humanization of pets, and people have, moved up market. And so ASPs and the margin structure has moved up. And then you just have the shipping density, where shipping as a percent of revenue is a lot less today than it was in the past. And so we've really built a business where this is a category that focus is incredibly important. And so, we do all of that flywheel of fast shipping, price, being competitive, that's all, basically table stakes in e-commerce. But then when it comes to being the category experts, right, you want to know what's the best weight loss foods, grain-free foods, you call us. We know the product better than anyone else. We're the best in the business.
When you started this, though, come on, you had to have the skeptics lined up around the door and not so many investors thinking, Ryan, you got to be kidding me. This isn't going to work.
We didn't have any investors. I mean, I went to Silicon Valley. It took me over 2 years to finance the business. Over 100 investors passed, lots of no's, the demise of Pets.com, going head to head against Amazon and vertically integrated e-commerce. But we kept on scaling the business. It was just heads down, blocking, tackling, focusing on amazing execution. And I think everyone underestimated how well we would execute and how big of a business we could build.
You're still going up against Amazon.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a confident man, people. Yes. So what, because that they're looking at you and thinking, no, they're not taking any piece of our pet business.
Yeah. I mean, the vision for the company was really to replicate the experience I had in the neighborhood pet store, but do it online and do it at scale. And so, the handwritten holiday cards from the beginning, the pet portraits, the flowers, doing all these things to really delight our customers and show our customers we're bringing a face to e-commerce. And within a category like pet, where customers are so fanatical, all of those small things just create this loyalty. And once customers shop at Chewy, they continue shopping at Chewy and they tell all their friends and family about this incredible experience.
But there are very low barriers to entry, and people are fickle about where they shop. If you just look at how many times people change their pet food, it's dizzying. Yeah. Do you worry at this point in time that, the market looks like this year? What makes you think the market will be there next year?
I mean, it's just a game of scale within e-commerce. And so you need enough revenues to get to your fixed costs. You need enough velocity with your suppliers. You need enough fulfillment centers around the country. I mean, Chewy has 7 fulfillment centers, 11 million active customers, did $3.5 billion in revenue in 2018. So if you wanted to replicate that model, sure, with enough capital, it's possible, but it would require significantly more capital than we had invested into the business. Okay,
there are some crazy things you can buy on Chewy.com for people like me who have pets and spend way too much money on them. But we will continue to really track your development and also the IPO market, which has been extraordinary this week. Appreciate it, Ryan.
So yeah, that was the interview that I showed it to her. And now one of the things, again, like I'm repeating myself here, but one of the things that I kind of come back at when she said, oh, pet food is different than, this industry. This is a totally different industry in Gamestop, right? Well, of course, there was similarity on that. These pet owner are fanatic, right? They're willing to spend money on their pet. Some of them, when they like a certain, and of course, like the mentality of him wanting to keep the customer for life, right? What makes you think he's not going to do the same thing with GameStop, right? And on top of that, he has more experience doing, a better experience, meaning that he learned from Chewy. Obviously, it was successful to the point where they are promoting him at this point in time, right? Now he's a villain because he's in GameStop, right? So, one of those things that you have to understand that you are being hold on one second, being manipulated into not going into this space here, right? Hold on one second. And then one other thing too, because of the marketplace, and of course this is just me straight up talking about the fact that we're buying and selling goods and services here, buying hardware, software, and collectible at the same time, right? And then on top of that, we are also giving the ability for people to own their digital asset, right? And of course, like, she's not well versed in that, but of course, she has her own argument that you're never gonna ever own your own data, which I don't know. I kind of disagree with that because of the blockchain nature of things. Yes, they're going to be able to track you because of the KYC and all that stuff. But as far as them being monetized, be able to monetize your identity and all that stuff, it's remained to be seen, obviously, right? It depends on the regulator, depends on how much freedom can we obtain from the people that are in charge, right? And this is why they're trying to regulate crypto, so to speak, and they would want you to kind of fall into that category of sitting on the sideline, right? And so again, like, I don't know, I just feel fortunate to be able to find GameStop at this price. I'm not just saying that, just to echo anything. Hold on one second. Hey Jason, what's up? But anyway, like, I hope I make an impact on her decision whether she's gonna buy into GameStop or not. Yeah, she does have substantial amount of money on the sideline, and man, like, I hope she took that to heart and look into this GameStop and give this leadership a chance, right? Anyway, I just want to jump in here a short period of time to tell you that conversation, and it was interesting. I wish to have more conversation like that. All right, guys, that's all I have. Have a good day.